Hello and welcome to this edition of the Market Share. I'm Paul Gifford, Chief Investment Officer at First Source Bank. Joining me today is Shannon Barnhart, the head of our fraud team at First Source. Normally we talk in these videos about the investment risks that investors face, but today we're actually going to talk about the fraud risk that so many clients face. So Shannon, what is the current environment for fraud?
Yes, good question. Plain and simple, it's a dynamic environment. It's constantly evolving in scope. If there's a financial aspect behind what we're doing, there's a fraud risk that's right behind it.
So what are the most common ways that fraudsters or scammers are reaching out to us to make a connection to start that fraud process?
Yes, another great question, Paul. Phishing. We're going to talk just a moment here about phishing. The attack vectors are your phone calls, are your emails, are your text messages. The scammers really understand how important our personal information is, our financial information, and they are really going to do anything they can to go after it. If there's a graphic that I'm going to put up here on the slide, phone calls is our most common, so scammers are going to try to deceive us by impersonating someone, whether that is our own family, our bank, the police, any other reputable companies that we do business with. Text messages, looking for attempts at tricking us where we provide personal information like our passwords, our PIN numbers, our social security numbers, and also email scams. It's estimated that 90% of all fraud originates on emails, fraudulent emails. And they disguise that email, making it appear legitimate. If we act on that type of email, the damage can be great.
So Shannon, clearly that's three common ways for us to communicate today. So can you give us an example of maybe a recent fraud situation that one of our clients experienced?
Yes, absolutely. Our job is to open fraud cases as they occur. We have a team within First Source Bank that is entirely dedicated to opening fraud cases, helping our internal employees and our customers get past the fraud situations that they're going through. I have a graphic that I'm going to display right now on a couple types of phishing expeditions that have actually occurred. And I'm going to talk about Sam. Sam is a customer that has a relationship with a VPN company. Sam was contacted by the company stating that they had a data breach and they were refunding clients due to the data breach. Sam received a refund form to complete. The VPN company stated that they refunded $20,000. They made an error. In reality, Sam was supposed to receive $500. So Sam sent that money back to the VPN company. Then he identified several days later that he had been scammed. In reality, that refund form contained a link that enabled access into Sam's computer, and the fraudsters actually moved money from Sam's account into one account and into another account. Sam returned his own funds. That is essentially an example of the phishing. He acted on an email and he acted on a phishing attempt.
Yeah. It's really amazing how easy it is to click on those links and go forward with that. Mm-hmm. So obviously there was a couple red flags probably for Sam along the way. Can you identify some of the main red flags that we should be looking for as we're either experiencing fraud or maybe about to experience fraud?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is an exhaustive list. I'm just going to touch on a couple of the red flags that we see on a regular basis. Anytime we have a consumer or a customer reporting fraud, there's certain things that they're indicating that they were maybe told. So I just want to touch on that. There's also a graphic here to indicate some red flags that would be up on your screen right now. But firstly, I'd like to reiterate that we will never ask for your private information over the phone. That could be your PIN number, your social security number, or your private passwords. If anybody's asking you to receive a payment in order to receive a larger payment, scammers often tell their victim not to trust First Source Bank. Threatened with law enforcement action, any type of sending money request urgently. Any sense of urgency should be looked at as suspicious. So that's a good time to step back and analyze what you're being told to do. And lastly, requests to make large cash withdrawals out of your bank account, maybe with the intent to protect it. Your money is safest here in the bank, and anybody asking you to take it out should be looked at as suspicious.
Shannon, clearly you just gave us a list of don'ts and some red flags to watch for. What are some of the things that we need to do if we think we've either had fraud or started to spot those red flags? What are things that we need to do at that point?
Yes, great question again, Paul. Firstly, we should always pause. There's not a better thing we can do if there's something that is concerning, that we believe we've gotten a phone call, or we received an email, or we have received a text, pausing just can simply help mitigate that situation. And that pause might be just an opportunity to talk to your banker, talk to a family member, talk to a friend, someone that you believe you can trust. There's a slide here, remembering the basics. And just pausing can simply prevent us from making a costly financial mistake. So some things that we can do also from a mitigation standpoint is reviewing our credit reports, reviewing your bank statements, setting up fraud alerts, and just simply monitoring your accounts on a regular basis can help stop and prevent fraud.
Well, Shannon, today you've provided us a great list of don'ts, red flags, and do's, as always providing straight talk and sound advice to the clients of FirstSource Bank. And as always, thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family, and have a great day.